Don't judge me. You must have drive-thrus where you live. I have drive-thrus here at the test facility. And I like blackberries. Almost as much as I like critters that eat blackberries. But that's for another video. So this morning I thought I knew what I was going to do today. And that was all well and fine. I expect Murphy to visit at some point and his law comes into effect. Everything was going good until the UPS guy came. That's a good thing, right? Yeah. I had a package from Tony at Tromix. And that's like a really good thing. That's an awesome thing. I would much rather have Tony visit my house, even only once a year, than I would Santa Claus. That's how much I enjoy what Tony does. Today, he had some new ammunition for us. And I was just getting ready to start moving into the supersonic field. Nah, we're going to stick with subsonic a little bit. So my package this morning has some ammo in it. Nothing unusual about that. But it's 375 SOCOM ammo. That's a little unusual, except we're in the middle of some testing, so I guess, you know, that's not really off the spectrum. What was unusual about it is we're addressing something exciting, something that people have asked about, something we hadn't really had a chance to get into yet, and that is when you're restricted to a muzzle velocity, in our case somewhere around 1,000 feet per second because we want to stay below the speed of sound, really a couple of the only things that you can do to improve performance or increase performance are go with a heavier projectile or come up with a projectile material that expands at those low velocities. Today we got both. We have a 325 grain projectile and man does it expand even at low muzzle velocities. So that gives us, I don't know, I think 5 or 6 different loads already for this thing, and it's just hitting the market. This new one is from Maker Bullets. If you're going to reload this stuff on your own, Maker, and I'll put a link in the description below the video. You can buy these 325 grain projectiles, and they love to expand even below 1,000 feet per second. If you want to buy loaded ammunition, talk to Tony over at Tromix. And I'll have his information in this video as well as it having been in all of the other ones that we did. So we've addressed something else, we've gone heavier, and we have a projectile that will expand at those low speeds. And by the looks of this, we're almost 100% weight retention, and it doesn't get any better than that. Since I can't leave the range without firing a few rounds, and since you won't let me live it down if I do, I've got some tin cans. Actually, they had popcorn in them for around the holidays. They'll hold 2.5 to 3 gallons of water. I have a couple downrange. I'm going to shoot one with my carry gun, my 9mm with a 147 grain projectile, just to get a baseline. And then we'll shoot another one with this 325 grain 375 SOCOM, and we'll see if there's any difference in energy transfer there. First, we'll hit it with the 9mm. This is a CW9 Car Arms 147 grain. About just inside of 20 yards. Certainly tell we hit it. Now, the 375 SOCOM. It's nice not to need the hearing protection again, too. There's no doubt about that one. So how cool is that? Nothing incredibly scientific about it, except I think the most important things to look at are the can of water that we shot with the 9mm still had water in it below the exit of the projectile leaving the can, and a small rip in the seam. The can that we shot with the 375 SOCOM, well, that didn't have any water left in it because it wasn't possible. That energy converted into a hydraulic force that just destroyed the can completely. It even ripped the bottom out, even though that was the opposite of the path of least resistance. It split it up the side, and it tore the bottom out of it, and of course it put a big hole in it and it ripped the side of the can, so there was no water in it. So I guess that's a pretty good non-scientific thing to look at. But again, it's not like the lab testing that we're going to be doing here very soon. Now I'm really excited about what's coming soon. I have an appointment at the Ballistics lab, at the State Police Crime Lab, and we're going to be doing some gel tests, but it's going to be 15 or 18 days out. So I'm going to skip over some of the subsonic ballistic gel testing, and we're going to go right into the supersonic following this video. Now, for those of you who have asked and I haven't thought to respond, people keep asking where I get a lot of the shirts that I wear. Chances are pretty good, if it's a cool enough shirt for you to ask, it's coming from Russian Roulette Clothing. And I'll have a link to Russian Roulette Clothing in the description below this video as well. Now, something I didn't address in the first two videos, and a lot of folks have asked, is magazine compatibility. We talked a little bit about magazines and magazine capacity, but not compatibility. One of my favorite magazines to use, and it has been for several years now, is the PMag. The PMag won't work with this caliber. The PMag, you'll notice, has a divider in the center in the front to help align the ammo, because it's set up as a double stack and comes to a single presentation. The 375 SOCOM turn it into a single stack magazine, so that divider being in the center won't work. The hex mags will work, though I found that they tend to rub a little bit on top. I have to work with that a little bit more before we can sign them off as being 100% compatible, but I really don't think that it's going to be a big deal. And so far, all of the metal magazines that I've found, either the original Colt magazines or any of the OK Industries or GI Surplus magazines, all seem to work fantastic too. So there is no shortage of magazines to use. Just beware that the PMags, because of that divider, will not work with this platform. Since we haven't really done too much at distance yet, I jumped over to the long range. I'm sighted in at 50 yards. I have no idea what that's going to be at 100, 200, and beyond that. It won't even make any sense. But let's take a couple shots at 100 yards so we can get a better idea of how slow these Mack truck size projectiles are actually traveling. Let's put one on target at 100 yards. Sounds like hitting it with a sledgehammer. That's really cool. I'm only dealing with a 50-yard sight in, so I had no idea what this would be. Definitely has to come up a little bit, but there's not anywhere near as much drop as I thought. But listen to the lag time from when we hit the bang switch to when it hits the steel. I love it. Oh, these glasses keep fogging up. Awesome stuff. So that's going to wrap things up for today. We'll get into the crime lab and do those ballistic tests as soon as we can on this subsonic stuff. I can't wait to see it in the gel. In the meantime, we'll get right back out here to the range. We'll start working with the supersonic stuff, and we'll start doing some meaningful things at distance. We've just started with this thing. This is awesome. I hope that you enjoyed this quick video. If you did, please click like, share us with your friends in your vast social media universe. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Check back in soon, because we're going to be working with this a lot. Until next time, have fun and be safe.